something.
Hi, I'm Melissa. Welcome to East Bay Speed Park for the first night of the Winternationals for Modifieds.
About 120 cars took time. Here's your unofficial top 10. Finishing in 10th at the time of 17.853, Craig Christensen in the car 4C. 9th spot to Dave Hess in the car 44 with a time of 17.843. Julie McDermott finishes in 8th with a time of 17.801. 7th to Ron Jones in the car 7, 17.795. 6th to Joey Jensen in the Q, 17.763. In the top 5, Bobby Pullman Jr. in the 1P, a car of 17.724 for a time. Shane Cottle with the time of 17.671 in the car 78 was 4th. 3rd quick, Joel Cryderman out of Thunder Bay, Ontario, a time of 17.635. Rob Fuquay, a time of 17.492, able to get into the 2nd position. Congratulations to the defending Winternationals champion, who puts it number 1 on the timesheet today with a time of 17.277. Chad Kinder in the car 22, your unofficial fast qualifier.
With the Hooters Pro Cup and the late model run here in Central Florida over the years, so he decided to use it to make his body, and he's got the 00 yellow car as everybody looking to see the legend Buzzy Rudeman have a good run in his first full Winternationals with us. He's managed to get here for a night or two, but not all of them.
The guy you're seeing on the outside front row following the Brandon Ford East.
And we're missing another practice session almost, but next time by they'll go racing. So the 22S Chad Kinder and the 91 Gregg Thatcher will bring them to the green next time by. We will else relegated to the last chance race, the D-Main. All right, out of turn number 4, looking for a good start, and we're not going to see it that time. 22 of Kinder trying to get the jump on everybody back in the middle of the turn. He's got to wait for the orange cones at the bottom of turn number 4. Yellow comes back out. Get that changed. Maybe he'll come back. We'll see if he tries some laps to check the car out or just to get back in it. If he gets a chance, then we get a caution. Otherwise, coming out of turn 4, green flag is up and we're racing. Kinder gets the jump inside anyway, and now it's going to be 3 wide through 1, across through 2. We're going to go 3 wide down the backstretch. Second goes to the 91 of Thatcher. He'll hang in that spot. Then comes the 22 of McLaughlin. He came out of the inside of row number 3, and he's taken over the 3rd spot, relegating the 2J. Blake Jatrick back to 4th now. Jatrick falls to 5th as here comes the 33.
Good Charlers being put on as Matthews moves up into 4th position. The 007 with Schmaus coming through up into 5th. Everybody's chasing after the 22. That's the car, your leader. The machine of Chad Kinder. Craig Thatcher hanging in tough back in the 2nd spot. He's going to try to hold off the North Carolina racer McLaughlin, who has given his chase. We got a car 5, the car 5 of Hartman off in turn 2. He's back underway.
Still under green as we're getting ready in a lap and a half to go halfway, but it is everybody's looking to reel in the 2nd place car because he's the guy that is on the bubble for that A main starting spot. The 91 of Greg Thatcher, 22 of Chad Kinder checking out on him. Everybody looking to see if they can reel in that 2nd place car, but it's not happening so far as it's the 22 of Rob McLaughlin. McLaughlin hanging on to 3rd, and 33 of Jeff Matthews moved up quickly behind him, but now seems to be unable to make the charge underneath. 007 Junior David Smosh hanging on to that 007 car. Now Matthews makes the move underneath. He's going to see if he can hustle, and he'll have to hurry with 5 laps down and 3 laps left to go.
There's another challenge now as the 22 McLaughlin tries to get back in. The white flag comes out. 112 into the infield. That's the car of Todd Bennett. Here's the 2nd place running car 91 of Thatcher. Across the line coming 3rd is the 33 of Matthews, followed by the 22 McLaughlin and Schmaus in the 007. Your leader has checked out and coming to the line.
It'll be the 22 of Kinder taking it across, and the 91 of Thatcher looks to be safe in 2nd. Next 4 cars going to go to the 1st B main, and that would be the 33 of Matthews, the 22 of McLaughlin, the 007 of Smosh, and the X-Man. Whittlestedt will go into that B main. Then the next 4, the 2F of Ferber, along with the 205 Bobby Dixon and the 2C car, I believe it is.
It has Jimmy Owens on the outside. A strong front row indeed in this one. Heat race number 2. As they come around the corner, all eyes on your front 2. They stay side by side. We've got a green. Look at the 9 car. Ken Arment staying right there with it, making it 3 wide. Arment makes the move down on the inside, shoves Fuqua up the racetrack, and Arment from the 2nd row will now take over the lead. Owens giving chase back in the 20 car. Battle for 3rd on the inside. It's going to be the car of Fuqua giving chase on Brent Glastetter.
Arment crosses the stripe first. Right behind him is the 20 of Owens as he made the bonsai move in 1 and made it work. He's out in front, down the backstretch now, starting to sort them out, and it is the 5. Make that the 3F on the inside, Rob Fuqua, and he is getting overtaken by the 18 of Glastetter on the outside, rounding out the top 5 through lap 2, the 17 machine of Scott Duvall.
Glastetter makes his move on the inside of Owens now, pulls up right beside the door panel, the mythical door panel in modifieds, as Owens will pull away in turn 4 and give chase after your leader Arment in the 9.
Down the front stretch, battling for that 6th spot. It's the Rudeman 00 of Greg Rudeman on the outside. On the inside, the 85, Ryan Corbett. And they've been side by side. Now Corbett gets the advantage out of turn 2. They're coming back to halfway. 4 laps down, 4 laps left to go.
Cross the flags and send them by as Arment, followed by Owens. Then comes Glastetter, and then Fuqua. Running back in 5th spot, it's Duvall. That's the way they go nose to tail into the corner. Corbett trying to hang on to a Rudeman giving chase. Sigler having a little problem keeping that 4S on the bottom of the racetrack. Went up near the wall a couple of laps ago, kept it down better that time as your leader flashes by.
And the 9 machine of Arment not able to run off and hide like the first heat race, so he's going to have to hang in there, keep it steady down on the bottom, trying to work the rhythm. And it is the 20 of Owens still laying chase right on the back bumper, and here comes the 18 of Glastetter.
Jimmy Owens knows how important these points are. He was a late comer in the 2004 series after some problems. Didn't get him here the first couple of nights. He wants to get the points while he can while he's down here. Owens still hanging into that second spot. As your leader comes into turn 3, blocks off the advance this time by. It's going to be the white flag for your leader, Ken Arment.
Watch Owens in the 20. He's going to make the dive down on the bottom of turn 1. Bumps into him, turns it around. White flag is up. We're coming back. No, we've got a yellow. Yellow flag is out. And flag is up. We're racing one lap left to go.
Turn 4, around goes Sigler, and Owens spins as well to avoid that mishap. Scott had problems getting started.
Trouble in turn 1. Rudeman's 00 gets it. Green flag is out. Last chance for Rob Fuqua to break into the top 2 as they go through. Whoa, we're going to stack them up turn 1. As Borner gets turned around, he'll collect Scott and the M5 machine of McQuaig, as well as the 4S. And we're coming back to the checkered as they are going to finish that one out. And I believe 3 of those 4 will wind up in the C main. One of them will be the lucky duck that gets into the A main. To be on the pole. It looks like he's there, the 96X Joel Cryderman. Outside of him, the 00M of Jason Miller.
We'll move down to the inside of row number 2. Here's Randall Sweeney, made the final feature back in 2003. On the outside, it'll be the car number 24, Brad Waits, starting in that 4th spot.
Inside row number 3, the HC1 of Paul Wilmoth Jr. Then comes the 2T of Corky Thomas.
On the inside of row 4, it'll be the responsibility of Chris Butler in the 26. He'll have Buzzy Rudeman in the 00 on the outside of him.
The legendary Buzzy Rudeman in this heat event. Inside row number 5, the 31, Brian Holyfield. And the B12, that's Kevin Weaver.
Weaver had a disappointing qualifying effort, put him way back in the back of the field. Round out the field, it's going to be the 2M of Steve Mueller, the car number 32B of Robbie Barris, and if he chooses to start, and it appears that he will, he had problems as he came out to qualify, didn't present the car across the line. That is the 6-time U.S. MTS champion, Kelly Shryock. Shryock in the car number 3 at the back of the field with the AMSOIL sponsorship, looking to work his way through, and he's got a lot of cars in front of him, and he has no qualifying.
And sausage, now served in the Hall of Fame Cafe. Ask for Johnsonville sausage, you'll taste the difference. Johnsonville sausage, quality sausage for the hungry race fan. The 00M of Jason Miller. 96 and 00 on the front row, out of turn number 4. Green flag is up. We are racing. Cryderman gets the jump in turn 1, but he goes way hard, way high. They're going to bump and get turned around, stack them up down on the bottom. Up in the air goes the 1 machine of Wilmoth Jr. And we've got, I believe, the 182 Randall Sweeney stuck down on the bottom, as well as you saw that one coming there several laps down the road before something finally gives up on you and tells you that you had some problems.
Off the corner they come. Green flag in the air. Going to try once again as Cryderman will hang on. Miller up on the outside, settles in second. Sweeney's going to go side by side with the 24 of Waits, and now Sweeney puts a challenge on Miller. Sweeney settles back into third, and here comes Wilmoth battling for 4th.
Down the back stretch, we got him sliding and trying to take over some spots way back in the back and come to the front quickly. But up front, they are starting to drive off as the 96 machine of Cryderman gets out in front. Right behind him now, Miller pulls into second. They are the guys that are going to the A main unless things change between here and checkered flag. Sweeney down in that 3rd spot. Whoa, a big cartwheel up on 2 wheels as the 24 of Brad Waits gets down on the infield. He finds those inside berms a little bit surprising. Yeah, more trouble. Turn 2 as we get the 26 and the 3 get together. We've got broken suspension on the 3 car as it has laid over on the right side, and the 26 is down on the left side.
26 of Butler pulls into the infield. Shryock in the 3. He's going to go. It's been a tough break. Yellow is displayed.
And checking for debris before this one's over. 3 laps down, only 5 laps left in this 8-lap heat race. Cryderman out in front again, gets a good jump. 0-0 of Miller right there in second. Sweeney trying to hang on, and it's the HC1 of Wilmoth Jr. taking a peek to the inside. Now Sweeney peeks inside Miller. They all get up on the inside berm, and Rudeman stays steady down on the bottom, trying to ride the inside line towards the front. Sweeney up high. Here comes the one of Wilmoth underneath.
Wilmoth makes that pass and opens up that line for Buzzy to make his move down on the inside. Sweeney trying to cut off Buzzy Rudeman. Rudeman have none of that. He'll just boy his way right in there. That's the way it's done down here, boys. You can go to 5th.
And Rudeman into 4th. Now he's going to hope that things will happen in front of him to help him out as he goes down the backstretch. Sweeney tries to get back on the inside, but almost has to cut to the infield. That won't work. It'll upset the car too much. And now the HC1 in trouble. He gets in the infield, gets her on 2 wheels briefly, and Rudeman reels him in quickly.
Gives Jason Miller some breathing room in second spot as Miller will stretch it out to a 2-length advantage. Wilmoth Owens onto that 3rd spot as your race leader comes by to the white flag. 1 to go for the car 96. Thunder Bay, Ontario's Joel Cryderman.
White flag is up. Next time by, we'll start setting some more of that A main event. Looks like the 96X Joel Cryderman will be one of those guys that goes right towards the A main. And it could be, and yes, it looks like it will be, the 00M of Jason Miller. Then you got Wilmoth, Rudeman, Sweeney, and the 24 of Brad Waits hangs on for a bump into that first B main.
Here comes your race winner out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to Thunder Bay, Ontario racer Joel Cryderman in the car 96X, the Integrity title car. Cryderman
For 2.
Bill Howard will be on the inside of row number 3. Howard, a top 10 finisher in last year's final event. He'll have Richard Harlow in the 155 lined up outside row 3.
Inside row number 4, the 12 machine, Russell Childress, and the 08 Sean Simpson.
Take a look at the next row. Inside, it's going to be William Hampton in the car 8W. He'll have the car number 34, Dustin Cates, finishing up that row.
And rounding out the field will be the 96 of Mark Rigdon, and Mike Phillips, along with the R3 of Rick Martin. William Hampton in that 5th row. He's one of the limited late model racers here at East Bay Raceway Park, jumping into the open wheel modified ranks. But it all comes back to give somebody a really great start to their 2005 season. Green flag is up. We are racing, and it's the 2B. Devin Dixon getting the jump on the outside. Can he hold it through turns 1 and 2? It tries to go to the wall, and it's going to be the 78 of Cottle dropping back down to the bottom and take the lead down the back stretch.
Look at Howard coming on the charge on the inside as he'll swing up into second spot as Cottle goes up the racetrack, opens up the inside line. Bill Howard now wheel to wheel at the line.
Howard taking a peek on the inside. Cottle knows he's there. Cottle's got to make the move. Howard's going to drive away at turn 2 as he drops it down and down the backstretch. Bill Howard, the 48, up front and trying to hang on now.
But he makes that mistake of moving up the racetrack, open up the line for Cottle. Doesn't matter. He's going to power through. Cottle will settle for second. The 12 car, meanwhile, Russell Childress, despite starting deep, is running 3rd for the time being. But here comes a challenge. Devin Dixon on the move.
Yeah, Childress started in that 7th starting spot. He was already in 3rd, now looking to go back into 3rd, as it is the 2 of Dixon back in front of him. Rounding out the top 5 through lap number 3 is the 21C Kenny Carlson. Carlson trying to, well, now Carlson dropped back a little bit, I believe, and he is trying to hold off the 61M of Peterson. With the top 2 cars looking real solid right now, one of those being Bill Howard.
Richard Harlow in the 155 had slowed, now gets the car back up to speed as he's battling with Cates into 34. Your leader flashes by. Cottle running second. Good battle for third between Dixon in the 2B and the car 12 of Childers. Childers spins between 1 and 2. That good battle is no more.
And it is green flag flying as we go racing. Down the front stretch into turn 1. Howard setting the pace. Cottle trying to reel him in. Dixon in third. Now we've got the 21C of Carlson into fourth. That puts the 61 of Peterson back into the top 5. But wow, Carlson went way high. Turns 3 and 4, and he'll fall to 5th.
Cottle thinking about the low line is his way back to the front, and Cottle will power down the back straightaway. Look out, there goes the 34 of Cates spinning around to the infield, and he's stationary.
And we'll see if the starter is connected to the yellow flag. But the yellow has to come out and protect the driver as he is in a very as Howard cranks him back up. We are racing into turn 1. Bill Howard on top. Cottle hanging on to that second spot. Dixon hoping for a small miracle with only 2 laps left to go. Make it 1.5 from the middle of the backstretch. As they come out of turn number 4, white flag flies. 1 more lap around for Bill Howard. Devin Dixon's got to make something happen if he wants to get into the top 2. Tries a hard down into turn 3 across the bottom, and it's going to be Bill Howard and the 78 Shane Cottle into the A main. Devin Dixon, the first man into the B, along with the 61. The friendly, so to speak. Big hand for Bill Howard. The Brandon Ford driver has put it into the A main.
We have a different car moving up to the head of the field. We'll have to see if in fact that car number 1 actually does belong out there. The car number 12 is actually, it is correct. Bob Pullman is your pole. Here's your pole car. Bob Pullman is on the pole. On the outside of him, it's going to be Steve Arpin in the car 00.
Inside row number 2, the 12H of Jason Hughes. Outside of him, the 12S, Ed Shamart.
So a pair of 12s in row 2, including Oklahoma racer Hughes. On the inside of row 3, it's going to be Brian Cockrum driving the 14C. Rusty Dixon behind the wheel of the 97.
Inside row number 4, 55, Tom Moore. Outside of him, the 12M, Ken Miracle.
David McWilliams of the Racing McWilliam family, Audie's boy in the car number 18M, lines up inside row 5. On the outside of him, it's going to be Missouri racer Joe Pendergrass. Joe driving the 27X.
Local racer, the 01, Trevor Merrill. Inside row 6. Outside of him, 47H, Terry Hayes. And rounding out the field, the 88G, Darrell George, scheduled out in heat number 5.
And George, a non-qualifier, and apparently not going to answer the call for this race, as there is a vacant position in the back of the field. Hayes is set for the green.
As they roll across 3, you got to wait on those cones is what you're supposed to do. Green flag is up, though. We're racing. Back on the outside, the 00, Steve Arpin trying to make it work. He's going to dig hard, stick it up on the cushion, and make it work down the backstretch. As Harpin goes to the Arpin way out front, drives right back to the top again. He's diamonding off the corners. Pullman in the 1P trying to make his work right down on the bottom. And they are going to really have a dogfight as they battle off the corners. Now it'll be the 1P into the top spot and the 00 back around the outside.
Pullman trying to use that inside line to his liking, as problem for Arpin last time on the high side of 1 and 2. Arpin still going to hang on to the lead. Trouble turn 4. We got a couple of cars spinning. One ducks into the infield. That's Cockrum. The car number 12M is going to give chase.
And the 00 of Arpin, I believe, has broken. Money on numbers.
Gotcha.
All right, here we go as we get ready to go back racing. Pullman leads them down into turn 3. We'll see if we keep everybody in line. Watch for a jump in the back or anything. Green flag is up. Nope, looks like a good start down the front stretch, and we are into turn 1.
Up the hill goes Jason Hughes in the car 12, as he'll still running the 3rd spot. Running 4th, it's Moore in the 55. Here comes the 01 of Trevor Merrill to the inside to put on a challenge 2. That's just inside the top 5. Merrill going to get that spot if he can.
Down the back stretch, it could be 12 by 12 as they look to go side by side into 3. Up on the high side, trying to make the move around the long way. Shamrock to work.
Good battle going on here between Dixon now and Moore. Problem for the 14 of Cockrum. He's going to turn it in. Trouble. The 27X heavily into the 01, and I mean he ripped body panels aside.
And it was the 01 in really hard into turn 1, trying to dive on the bottom. Trevor Merrill working his way from the back of the pack towards the front. Got in too hard and winds up turning the car around, becomes a launching ramp for the 27. Down into turn number 1, it is the 1P. Look out, we got the 12 stacking up, 55 taking a peek on the inside. Here comes Shamrock down to the bottom. He'll try to get underneath Hughes. I take that back. Shamart is in second. Hughes on the bottom trying to make the move. Hughes now looking to the top side. He's going to have to hustle as Shamart starting to pull away, getting a little distance, but he gets a launch out of turn 2, takes it back to the outside of 3.
Meanwhile, Moore and Dixon are going to lock it up in a battle, too. They may gain some ground in that third place as 6 laps show up on the scoreboard. Your leader continues, Bob Pullman in the car 1. It's Shamhart running second. In third will be Hughes. Now battle for 4th. Moore has it for the time being. Dixon trying to give him some fits.
As they come out of turn number 4, Dixon on the bottom trying to sneak by that 55. White flag is out. He knows he's only got this lap left to do it. And it goes back to time for that B main event anyway. So you might not want to damage the race car, but it's going to be the 1P of Pullman and the 12 of Shamart hanging on to the spots with Hughes going through third. Rounding out the top 5, Tom Moore in the 55 and the 97, Rusty Dixon, and I believe they've invited will be Joey Jensen. Outside of him should be the 2 seed, David Kane.
Inside row number 2 is going to be the car 54P of Dick Peterson. West Virginia driver Corey Conley in the 707 will line up on the outside of row 2.
And this year's Ramada Inn on Tampa Bay Open Wheel Modified sees row number 3 and heat number 6, the 99B Perry Brown and the 11G Matt Golden.
On the inside, the car number 63 coming out of the mini stock ranks, it's Scotty Williams. On the outside of him is going to be Chad Osterhoff, the new promoter at Kankakee Speedway up in Illinois. Chad racing on the outside of row 4.
Don't get too much racing time when you're a promoter, except early in the year like this. In row 5, it'll be the 99 Corey Parton and the B12X of Bruce Watkins.
Starting on the inside of the next row is going to be Wade Shutt, driver of the car number 30. On the outside, the 27 of John Bradley. And rounding out the field, the non-qualified car number 21 from Jacksonville, it's Ivanette Lloyd Jr.
And that, I believe, is a different chassis and car altogether for Ivanette Lloyd. Quick note.
I do believe that is the former asphalt modified that Kevin Terry drove. Kevin Terry out of Citra, Florida.
Looking down at the 63, the Dodge sponsored Busby Aquatic 63 of Williams. I need to let everyone know Scotty Williams is hearing impaired. He is giving away some cash to kids 5 years of age through 21 in school. And the money goes for their post-high school education. So kids that are 5 years old can really build up some cash. Green flag is out. We are racing, and we got smoke showing from the Q car. Side by side into turn number 1. The 707 giving him a little nudge as Corey Conley says, let's go, guys. I'm ready to move on out. And they're still side by side in the front row. Corey Conley into the back of the queue.
He's trying to make something happen. Conley's needing to find a racing room. Meanwhile, problems in the field as the 99 goes up the racetrack, collects the 11. Conley still running back in third spot now. Will give chase on the cue of Jensen. At the head of the field, Kane takes off.
Scotty Williams in that 63. He's in fifth, trying to stick right down to the bottom, but he keeps trying to roll up the track. Here comes the 99B of the 99P machine. Corey Parton into the fifth spot beside Williams.
The 27 on the move now to the inside. Here comes John Bradley after starting deep in the field. Bradley trying to get up in the top 5 as the queue hangs on to second, but here comes Conley. Conley finally got to the outside line, and Conley takes over second.
Down the back stretch now. Everybody looking to reel in. But it is the man on the hot seat, the 707 car, takes over that final transfer spot into the A main. Corey Conley trying to make it work for him.
Dick Peterson, the 54P, running in fourth, trying to hold on to that position as the 99 of Parton is coming after him.
Up the hill goes the B12X of Bruce Watkins. Watkins trying to hang on. He wants to get into that B main, not the C main, so he's got to gain another position. Scotty Williams in trouble. Turn 4. He'll get into the infield. Upset the car enough when he stood on the gas after hitting the brake real hard. She just swapped ends on him quickly.
Williams in the 63 and Perry Brown, the 99, bringing him down, ready to go racing.
Green flag is up. Down into turn 1. Everybody looking to make a move quickly. And it's going to be the 99 of Corey Parton on the move still. He started inside row number 5 and now goes to third.
Jensen having a little problem with that car. Will settle back into fourth, try to protect against Bradley's advance. Bradley in the 27 also started deep in the field. Now he's inside the top 5.
And here comes Bruce Watkins. Watkins in the B12X up into the 6th spot. He's into the B main and looking to stay there as we come out of turn number 4.
Corey Conley not content with second as he'll pull right up beside the leader. Gives a challenge now as the leader motors away down the back straightaway. They're coming around to get the checkered flag and finish it up. It's still not decided.
Trying to upset the leader, but he can't do it. It's going to be the 2C of David Kane taking the win. Corey Conley will go second. Next 4 cars will be the 99 of Parton and the Q car of Jensen, along with the 27 machine of Bradley and the B12X of Bruce Watkins. They'll go right
to be the old car number 13 that Kevin Terry drove on pavement last year with that HTI sponsorship.
Tell you what now, Larry, we've seen a couple of cars get down in the infield and get upset really hard.
Number 7 on the outside of him, it's the 03B, a good qualification effort for Rick Hensley.
Inside row number 2, the 33Z, Zach Vanderbeek. Outside of him, 21S, Denny Swartz.
Move to the inside of row 3, we'll find the 85D driven by Mark Dodson. On the outside, the car number 28M, Frank Marshall behind the wheel.
Inside row number 4 is the 23 Terry Haven. Outside the 8th starting spot, the 20K Keith Sansum.
In the car number 11W, that's Wes Weinman. Steve Hughes will go with the 20X on the outside.
And rounding out this field of 12 cars will be the 86 of Mike Oldenburg, and Terry McClintock. Oldenburg in the 86, McClintock in the 6M. They'll be row number 6.
Take a look to see if all 12 of the eligible drivers do actually answer the call right now. It looks like we have 11, and one of the drivers is climbing out of his machine. So that would be a tough break for one of them. Appears it might be Denny Swartz.
Slinger t-shirt, a Mudslinger t-shirt going out to ticket number 008141. 00814 on the outside. They are ready to go racing. Let's see how it starts out of turn 4. Green flag is up. We're 3 wide down the front stretch. Into turn 1, still 3 wide. Brake lighting up on the 7. Doesn't look like it's working for him as he drops back. And we'll go 3 wide down the backstretch. And it's going to be the 21 of Swartz into turn 3 first. See who brings them out of turn number 4. It's going to still be Swartz. Then it's going to be the 85D machine. Mark Dodson from inside row number 3 gets into second. 33, Zach Vanderbeek trying to reel him in. Vanderbeek finds himself looking on the outside in as the front row falls back quickly and gets overtaken by several of the cars starting inside the top 6. Still working 3 wide down the back stretch, and it's still the 7 of Jones dropping back as he's overtaken. Everybody looking to make a run. We got damage on the 33Z. 33Z of Zach Vanderbeek looking to lose some bits and pieces on the right rear as he's had some damage from contact. But it's still the 21 of Swartz looking at halfway with 4 laps down, 4 laps left to go. We've even got a roof post off of the 28 of Frank Marshall. Marshall having some trouble with the roof post folding up under the pressure of the wind. But what a blistering pace Swartz has set in this 7th heat race. He is out in front driving away as the 85D of Dotson hangs on to second. 33 of Zach Vanderbeek is in third. Yellow flag coming out as we out of turn number 4. Green flag is up. We are racing. And he goes a little high. Look on the bottom. Dotson trying to make a run across the bottom. Can't make it up as the horsepower kicks in for Swartz. Denny Swartz in the 21 coming out of turn number 4, and he will go back on top as the 33Z finds himself falling victim to our front row as both Hensley and Jones get by. Looking this time for the white flag. One more lap to go. One more time around for the 21 of Swartz. Down the front stretch comes the bulk of the pack as they roll into turn number 1. Still the 7 of Jones lighting up that right rear rotor as the sparks fly. But it's going to be the 21 Denny Swartz taking the win. The 85D of Dotson goes second. Swartz, then Dotson. The 03 of Hensley comes back to third. Jones will get fourth in the 7. Ladies and gentlemen, the 21S Denny Swartz, your winner. And behind him, he started inside row number 3, the 85 Mark Dodson going second. Heat number 8 looks like this. The 1M Julie McDermott will be your pole sitter. Outside of him will be the 16 Justin Ratliff. Inside row number 2, the 29 Kenny Holt. Outside of him will be the 44 Michael Hess. Inside row number 3, the 36 Brady Short. And outside of him will be the 98 Shannon Flannery. Inside row 4, the 1A Chad Owenstad. And outside of him will be the 44H of Jared Keenmiller. Rounding out the field will be the 8M Matt Miller in the 5th row inside. Outside of him will be the 16C of Scott Klippinger. Then we have the 10X of Rod Pendergrass and the 13 Kevin DeYoung. That is your 12-car lineup for heat race number 8. As the drivers work down the front stretch, Julie McDermott in the 1M looking like a front row starter, and outside the 16 Justin Ratliff.
Come together to get set for the action here tonight. Open wheel modified racing, Winternational style. Green flag is in the air. We're underway. Side by side to go in the first corner. It's going to be a battle on the inside as McDermott will take advantage, moving away from Ratliff down in second spot. Here comes the 29 moving up into third position. Contact in turn 3. Around goes the 29. Heads up. Full tilt boogie as we have collision and caution on the racetrack. The 29.
Woodward steering. And remember, when the steering counts, count on Woodward. All right, we whittled this one down to 10 cars. Green flag is up. We are racing. Julie McDermott rides him on the inside down into turn number 1. High on the outside, though, the 16 of Ratliff trying to make the move. McDermott gets the launch out of turn 2. She'll take over the top spot into 3. Out of turn 4, lots of cars battling for spots. We got contact in the bottom of 4. Everybody hangs on. And the only victim, the 98 machine of Sean Flannery, loses a front tire and he'll go flat. Find himself in the C main as Julie McDermott leads him out of turn 4, starts to stretch it out just a little bit. McDermott kind of diamonding off the corner, comes down the backstretch all the way out to the wall, drops right down to the bottom, in the middle maybe this time, slides through and down to the bottom of 4. And right behind her, the 16 of Ratliff trying to reel her in. But he's trying to avoid Brady Short. Brady Short now getting some pressure from the 1A of Chad Onstad. Onstad showing that one car is ready to go racing as we go through halfway. 4 laps down, 4 laps left to go. 4 more times around for Julie McDermott. McDermott nice and steady through the corners, looking for the horsepower to work down the front stretch. Backs off of the Woody Woodpecker car into turn 1. Lets it get set, then stands back on the gas down the backstretch. Hard to beat them when they get into a good rhythm. Oh, way up the hill goes the 16 of Ratliff. He'll open the door briefly. Brady Short trying to jump into that open door, but Ratliff may have closed it quickly, and Ratliff once again now going to feel the pressure as Short tries to bring the shorter wheelbase car into the picture. White flag is up one more time around for Julie McDermott in the 1M. Down the back stretch she goes. Checkered flag. Julie McDermott hangs on for the win. Ratliff goes second, and Short falls off the pace right at the end. He'll let the 1A of Onstad go third. He'll settle for 4th. 44 machine of Keenmiller goes 5th. Then I believe it's the 10X, and that will be the 4 that go to the B main, the 10X machine. Rod Pendergrass coming from that 11th starting spot. For the Winternationals, Julie McDermott did it. Justin Ratliff in the 16 settled for second. Long wheelbase on that car. You can tell by looking at the nose of it. And we'll roll out heat number 9 onto the backstretch. If you were with us 2 weeks ago, you saw history being made that week by 410 pilot and driver Aaron Crocker. Aaron Crocker taking a Strawberry Dash for Cash victory and being the very first ever woman in the 410 ranks, sprint car wise, to get into victory lane here at East Bay. We've had women race in the 410s over the years, but never one that swung into victory lane. So let's look on the backstretch. We got the 44H of David Hess on the pole. Outside will be the 19T Todd Gilpin. Inside row number 2, the 3L Jeff Alika. Outside is the 88 Chris Smith. Then comes the 33M of Roger Crouse. Shows 33M, but looks like a 33 with no M on it, but Roger Crouse anyway. Outside of him, the 01K of Don Kegger, Don Kegger in the 01K. Inside row number 4, the 45, Dean Vickers. Then comes the 11B, Jamie Burrows. Burrows in the 11B blue car. Inside row number 5, the purple 83C of Brian Taft. And outside of him, the 75S, Eric Scribner in the 75S. 47T, Carlton Jackson. And the 06 of Jarrett Rindell round out the field as we get ready to go racing in a few. All right, lights are out. They're showing them 1 to go. We got a Hoosier t-shirt for somebody with one of our lucky souvenir race programs and that blue ticket on page 34, 35. Out of turn 4, Larry. Green flag's up.
Yes, indeed. And Dave Hess, right after his experience in the ranks of the late models, gets out to the front here quickly. 3 wide going into turn 2. That's all going to sort itself out as that battle will take shape for third. Meanwhile, on the inside, here comes a challenge put on by Gilpin. Todd Gilpin in the 19 will swing down to the low side, try to ease up and get a full-length lead as he comes by the stripe. Gilpin's going to be second. Running back in third, it's Matthews in the 33.
Then comes Roger Crouse in the 33 car.
Spin.
And it is the Burrows gets spit out in turn 1. He's got down on the bottom, really been braking on Roger Crouse inside row 3, already in the third.
A little bit of chain reaction crashing down in turn 4 as they'll get it back green once again. Hess will take over where he left off. Gilpin runs second. Crouse is going in third. And here comes the challenge down on the inside for third. But Crouse shuts the door in that 33 car. He's going to maintain it as Jeff Lika, the former NASCAR champion, will have to run in fourth. Crouse moves to the inside of Gilpin. He's going to give him all he wants and more.
And they make slight contact turn 1. And Crouse hangs on. He's going to bring the 3 machine right with him. Lika trying to take the 3L inside, and he'll move it into the third spot if he can. We got a broken suspension on the 19 as it is pointing wheels in 2 different directions.
Trouble in the front straightaway. The 88 slugs the wall, and he's going to have himself a tough handling race car. So that the 88 car slowing on the racetrack, he's probably going to be the cause of the caution. And the 19 car really is going to have to think about continuing this race. Yeah, it's actually the 88 of Chris gives the Pennsylvania driver a chance to lead the Florida driver and the Illinois driver into the corner. And Lika looks on the low side on Crouse. Crouse going to power down the back straightaway and hold his own. Lika gets no racing room that way. Now Lika swings down to the inside to make a challenge for second.
Crouse swings way up high, got way out of the groove. He'll fall back to third, almost to fourth, as the 01 taking a peek at him, Don Kegger. Make that Kiger in the 4th spot. Now watching Crouse trying to work on the 3L of Lika. Puts the 44 of David Hess out in front, showing the way.
75 of Scribner had a little bit of problem in the corner as he had to stop the car, but the 83 sliding up right behind him, Brian Taft, didn't see him and slammed into the back of him. Scribner pulls away from him to try to avoid an accident like that again. Scribner's going to make his move down to the inside. Whoops, has to bump the car directly in front of him as the 47 of Carlton Jackson having a little problem getting going.
That was just a nice love tap. Saw he's having trouble turning the car. Gave him a little nudge in the middle of the corner. Help him out.
Love tap, day after Valentine's Day.
Here we go. White flag for the 44H machine. David Hess trying to take it to the house. Roger Crouse. I don't know if he's going to make up that one more spot or not as the white flag flies. Looks like Lika going to hang on for that transfer into the A main. That means Roger will go to the B. Hess makes it with a checkered flag overhead. And we got the 01 machine of Kiger is turned around in turn number 2. That puts Burrows through fourth. He'll go to the B main, and so will the 47 machine of Carlton Jackson coming from the back of the pack, going to the B main, as well as the 83C of Taft.
Well, Burrows in the 11 car apparently had gotten involved in that or went down in the infield to avoid it, one of the two, because he was coming through the infield in turn 2, got the car right back up onto the racetrack to finish the race. So 9 of the 10 heat events have car number 4C on the inside. He is a runner-up from 2002's main event. The 2 car of Kenny Gatus will start on the outside of him.
The 21M of BJ McCamanon and the 03 Brad Roloff will make up row 2.
Inside row number 3, it is your track record holder. That is Dan Hamstra in the car 23H. On the outside of him, MJ Hintz, driver of the car number 70.
Then comes the 22C Terry Cox inside row 4. Outside of him, the 1B Jason Barnhill.
We'll go to the inside of row 5 and find Tim Moore occupying that spot in the car 69. It'll be the L88 of Mark Herbert.
Then comes the 7X of Alan Sharpenstein and the 25T of Paul Thorpe. as we play alphabet soup with numbers. They got to figure out who's going to be the final qualifier in the D main that wants to try to make it to the A main 49 laps from now.
Sharpenstein at the back of the field, and that 7 car looks very, very similar to the car driven by Ron Jones. Sharpenstein out of Texas, one of the few racers we have from the Lone Star State in competition here tonight. Side it's going to be Kenny Gatus with the car number 2. Nice looking race car set to go.
The last 2 guys to make the A main right from the heat races do it out of this heat. They'll be the final 2 cars of 20. Green flag is up, and we are dogfighting into turn 1, 4 wide almost, as 2 cars up front, 2 cars behind go inside out. And it is the 2 car. Kenny Gaddon's getting the jump out front. He'll take lap 1. Down the back stretch now, the red, white, and blue 4C. Craig Christensen trying to reel him back in, but he's not having much luck so far, as a big battle setting up for that B main event.
Brad Roloff moving on strong in the 03, trying to get in good position. The 7 of Sharpenstein's grabbed 2 spots, but he's got a way to go to get into the top 5. 21 hanging on dearly. That's the 2nd generation racer B.J. McDermott out of Indiana.
Must be a teammate to the Swartz car in the 21 of McCannon, but right behind him, the 23H of Hamstra looks to be a teammate with Brady Short, as those cars are identical also.
Kamen holding up the advance of one of the competitors right behind him as we are halfway through this one. The 23 of Hamstra trying to get around. Dan Hamstra may find himself going to a B main.
It is going to be a wild set of last chance races coming up, I bet, as we go through halfway, make it 5 laps down, 3 laps left to go already, as we watch the 2 machine of Kenny Gaddis just drive away up front.
Gaddis out for a Sunday drive as he'll come by with just 2 laps to go. Christensen, one of the better qualifiers, is going to find himself back in that 2nd spot, but Roloff and company, Roloff, McCammon, Hamstra, and the 69 car all seem destined for the B.
And lap traffic going down 1 lap is the 25, I believe. No, make that 25T of Paul Thorpe, as the white flag flies for the 2 car. One more time around. Down the back stretch he goes. Easy out of turn number 4. The 2 machine of Kenny Gaddis takes the checkered flag. Here comes the 4C of Christensen. Into the B main will go the 03 of Roloff, the 21 of McCannon, the 23 of Hamstra, and also the 69 machine.
More in the car 69. Your unofficial race leader and winner. He is the car number 2 of Kenny Gaddis, utilizing that outside front row starting spot, making it count. He and Craig Christensen. Christensen again, a 2nd place finish back in 2002 to winner Bobby Pullman Jr. And Christensen trying to put up some numbers once again for open wheel.
All right, only 20 cars of our 26 scheduled starters out on the track. So we'll have to try to figure out who's there, who's not, because the not theirs will.
Which vitamin E to take? Larry King here to tell you about Advanced Protection Estery, a new advanced form of
0A of Steve Arpin.
Are you getting advanced protection from your vitamin E?
Look for Ester E at Vitamin World and health food stores everywhere.
The object of this race being the top 4 when it finishes. Everybody else gets to sit back and hope for a chance for the Strawberry Dash for cash or tomorrow night, but it is Scott in the 0 out front first. Steve Arment in the 00 trying to make a move from the back of the pack. They're 3 wide down the backstretch for 4th. Out of turn number 4, it's going to be the 3 machine. Kelly Shryock. And Ivan Lloyd in trouble. The 21 pulls it way high. Turn 2. Still green flag going. Trouble. Turn 3. We got one sideways and everybody trying to check up and miss him. Kelly Shryock. And he is a bumper to bumper as they stack him up, getting ready for the restart. Green flag's up. We're racing.
Scott takes command, keeps it going here as they'll still fight for positions on back in the field. There goes that battle. Shryock down on the inside of Mueller. Here comes a hard charge by Arment. Arment was running strong in his heat till something went wrong, and now he's going to challenge Shryock on the outside. Still battling for positions there as Dustin Cates loses the spot. Your leader takes him into 1.
Tell you what, Arment trying to light him up. He's gone to the bottom. He's going to get 2 of them at once if he gets the chance out of turn 2. He's going to have the car to beat right now as he rolls down the backstretch on the inside. And he'll still be hanging them 3 wide as he comes out of turn 4 and takes over that 3rd spot.
Mueller shuffled out of that one as it's going to be Shryock moving into that 3rd position. Actually 4th spot now, trying to move into 3rd spot. Nothing doing right now. Around goes the 86 car, does 720, and then he's clipped by Sigler's 4 car. They'll go into turn 4, and we've got him green.
Green flag is up. We are racing into turn 1, and they are 2 wide, high side and flying down the backstretch. 00 Arment takes a peek on the outside. He's trying to goose it up and get it out there, but he'll hang on to 3rd off turn 4.
Still some side-by-side racing going all the way throughout the field. Look out, 2 of them together. Cates and Sigler get together, and the 34 of Cates heads up to the wall. Meanwhile, spin at the back of the field as that car ducks down to the inside of the racetrack. Gets back.
There's a winner also. Green flag is up. We are racing.
Arment renews that challenge up on the outside, trying to make something happen on Bennett in the 112. He closes in, and he'll take that high line all the way around it, looking like Shannon Babb did last week in the late model. Arment going to try to make something happen, but now he nips him at the line for 2nd.
First place goes right to the next C main event. 2nd place gets to wait one and go to the 2nd one. So I believe Arment looking to get into that 2nd spot, get that extra breathing room to make some adjustments on the car to make it even better for C main.
He lost that spot last time by as Bennett took it right back away from him, but Arment's going to go back upstairs and renew that challenge. Good close racing in the back of the field too as several cars battle for position.
Well, you got him 3 wide in turn 1, back to turn 2. Little things shaking up, but up front, watching the 3 car, Kelly Shryock now falls back from the top 3 a little bit. He may come into the clutches of the 11G. Matt Golden in the 11G now, rolling up behind him, I believe. With Dustin Cates in the spin cycle one more time in turn 2.
First couple of cars transferring as we go green, back underway.
Scott still leading him into turn number 1. Lots of action back in the pack, but it is the 11 of Golden looking to the outside. And we got him spinning and banging and rubbing down in turn 1 as they come to a stop. Yellow comes out quickly as we slow down the leaders and keep them from doing any damage.
Holden.
Flag is up. We're back under power. 8 laps into a 12-lap heat event. The 11 of Matt Golden still looking for an opportunity to make a run at the 3 machine of Shryock.
Shryock puts that left front down on the berm, tries to get some territory going there for him. Do him any good. He's sitting back in that 4th position as Bennett in the car 112 hugs the low side in the corner. That turns out to be a good way around for the 112. 2 laps to go this time by, and our D-Main still in command of your race leader, Craig Scott. Racer out of the Wissota territory. He's trying to do well here.
Down the backstretch goes Scott with the 112 of Bennett still second. The 00 of Arpin is third, and the 3 of Shryock hanging on to fourth. But the man who's been on the move is the Z28, Mark Troutner in the Z28 up on top. He's laid it up on the rim and put everything on a run towards the front, but he's going to come up about 4 laps short as we come to the checkered flag. Scott's going to take the win, move on to C main number 1. The 112 of Todd Bennett will move on to C main number 2. The 00 of Arpin will move on to C. Into his work, he always says, be the flag, feel the flag, you are the flag. So now he can feel the cone, be the cone, he is the cone in turn 4. Of Robbie Barris is right back there with him outside row 9. Inside row number 10, rounding out the top 20 cars, 96 Mark Rigdon and the 01 Trevor Merrill. Then comes the 0 of Gregg Scott and the 008.
WQY.
As we come to green flag, they are getting bunched up behind. Green flag is out. We're racing. And we're going to stack them up on the front stretch. Everybody's still moving, but a couple of cars getting a little jam.
Number 1 coming at us. Julian Mullis looks him over, and he's got the chore. Putting the green in the air, he does.
Green flag is up, and the 2 teammates trying to see if they can't finish in those top 2 spots as they work their way up front. It's going to be, though, the 19 Joe Fowler getting the jump out front, and here comes the 00 of Arpin on the outside. He's trying to eat up some ground and see if he can't reel in the leaders. Green flag is up. We are racing.
Arpin stuck down in the low line. That's not necessarily the way he wants to be. Look at the charge on the outside from Owens, and Owen moves up to 4th. Owens picks that outside line as his way to get around this racetrack.
Owens up into the 4th spot, looking to make a move into the top 2. Got to be in the top 2 or it doesn't count on tonight's racing. And it's the 19 of Fowler out front. Teammates side by side. Trouble for the 18.
David McWilliams slips out of the groove, opens up the line for Arpin, then comes back down the low side. Look at that pack of 4 coming off the corner.
Only 2 cars go forward. Owens on the bottom. He's going for second. He wants to get both teammates together. Jimmy Owens digging hard out of turn 2.
Meanwhile, at the head of the field, a challenge now for Joe Fowler, your leader. Fowler sees on the outside. He's got one of the green machines coming his way. That's the car number 2T of Corky Thomas.
And down the back stretch, it's going to be a big battle with the 2T and the 2J lined up outside, the 19 and the 20. As they go side by side into 3, they're starting to find some room up on the cushion.
They tried to make it 3 wide for just a moment there, but that's not going to work. Here comes the T across. That's Thomas in front. Thomas trying to make his way through as they go down the back straightaway. It's Thomas out in front by a car length over your previous leader, Joe Fowler.
Fowler and Thomas coming back to halfway. 6 laps down, 6 laps left to go in C main number 1.
Jimmy Owens has to do something and do something quickly because here comes Steve Arpin back into this. Arpin running in 5th, chasing after Owens, swings down to the low side. Arpin had been running strong on the high line, and that seems to be the way to go as Fowler is going to be bypassed once again, it appears.
Up on top on the cushion, everybody starting to make the high line work. Everybody riding the rim, and they are going to the front. The 2 green teammates, the 2T and the 2J of Thomas and Jesta are making it work, and the Owens is trying to figure out how to make the bottom work.
Owens has got to do something because he's out of transfer land right now. We're getting down to the late stages of this one. C-Main number 1. Owens pulls up on the backside of Jegvig. Jegvig hangs on to it going down the backstretch. It's still Thomas in front. Jegvig in second. Owens swings to the bottom.
Those top 3 cars trying to settle it up front as Fowler and Arpin fall back just a couple of car lengths, and that may be all it takes. Owens now got the position off turn 2, but here comes a jet dig back on the outside.
Owens thinks about the lead as he'll keep that position. Look at that, 3 wide coming off turn 3. Owens trying to nose ahead, 2 to go.
Jimmy Owens on the bottom. He's digging down on the bottom, seeing if he can make it stick. They'll be side by side down the backstretch into turn 3. We've got 2 laps left to go. Making white flag this time by Jimmy Owens, going to see it first off turn 4.
Slid up the racetrack to try to make that driver think. Can Corky Thomas have a little bit extra for him as we're 1 lap left to go? Thomas is going to rally back. Here comes Thomas pulling up. As they go into turn 3, it's still Jimmy Owens in command.
Wheel-to-wheel racing for that 4th spot as the Arment and Fowler battle. Checkered flag for Owens. Then comes the 2T car of Corky Thomas. Those are your transfers into the first B main in the 20K and the 98 Shannon Flannery. 19th starting spot will be the 19T of Todd Gilpin. The 7X out of turn number 4. Green flag is up. We are racing into turn 1, and they are bumper to bumper. 3 wide, 4 wide, 1 off the pace up high. That's the green 03 machine. Excuse me, 06 machine of Jarrett Rendell. Trouble, turn number 4, and they've only collected 3 of them. That's amazing. Turn 4, green flag is up, and we're underway again. This time, Vanderbeek gets the jump on the outside. He'll take it out front out of turn 2. They'll still be 2 wide, 3 wide in places back through the pack.
On the outside comes the challenge to the 44 machine, as he'll try to battle Clippinger now, take over that 3rd spot. So Clippinger slides back. Problems brake checking coming down the front straightaway. Everybody's fighting for racing room, but there's only so much to give.
Down the back stretch, lots of cars trying to make a move. One of those being the red and white 63, Scotty Williams, locked right on the bottom, trying to see what he can do to hang on and bring it to the front, but he's got a long way to go to get to those top 2, as the 33 of Vanderbeek and the 54 machine of Peterson have checked out on the rest of the field.
Scribner having problems in that 75. Likewise, DeYoung in the green 13 having a little problem getting the handle on that car. Here's a challenge now between the 16C of Clippinger and the 44 car.
75 off the pace briefly. That's Eric Scribner. Scribner now back underway as he hangs on to it on the outside, but off turn 4 comes your leader, 33Z Vanderbeek out front. Then comes Peterson in the 54. Peterson looking to make a move, kind of falls back out of turn 2.
Puff of smoke that time from Don Kiger's car 01 as Scotty Williams is on the outside, challenging for position with Kiger. Kiger and Williams trying to put the sandwich on the 23.
Tough place to be. Scotty going to drop back down to the bottom, I believe, off turn 4. Make the inside move with Kiger and see if that can work for him. But it's still a long way to go to get to those top 2 as they come into turn 3 and out of 4.
They'd like to run away and hide if they can and get those transfer positions. Zach Vanderbeek and Peterson in the 54.
33Z still out in front, showing the way. Vanderbeek having it all go his way. Peterson knocking on the back door, though. Trouble, turn 4.
Looks like the 75 of Scribner getting...
Everybody looking to make a run. And we got damage to one. We got the water line being popped off or something. Niemiller of the 44J and green flag. We are racing 16C. Scott Clippinger hanging on to that 4th spot. Oh, there goes the 44J of Niemiller.
Niemiller coming from a little deeper in the field, started in the 8th spot and now trying to make that challenge as we are 2 laps to go. Niemiller looking for racing room on. Zach Vanderbeek. Vanderbeek rides up the racetrack, forces Niemiller a little higher. That's going to open it up for Clippinger. Clippinger in the 16, can't get anything done. Shryock trying to put the challenge on Kiger as they go down the back straightaway with Scotty Williams on the outside of them.
Williams gets it hooked up top, still trying to move towards the front, can't quite make it work. He's gaining some ground, but not quick enough as the laps are winding down. White flags up last time around.
Niemiller's challenge on Vanderbeek not going to materialize as he's fallen back, and here comes the checkered flag for the win and the 54P of Dick Peterson. Zach Vanderbeek in second, third to Niemiller, fourth to Clippinger, fifth to Kiger, sixth to Shryock, seventh to Scotty Williams, eighth to Weinman.
Green flag is up. We are racing. Matthews trying to lead him into turn one. Dixon in that third spot looking for a run, and Gregg Rudeman in trouble in the 0-0 off the pace on the front stretch. Rudeman going to go to the infield. We still got everybody headed in the right direction. Make
Two
that
cars.
nope, take that back. There's somebody in the bottom of turn two. We got
Two cars
yellow.
spun in turn two. Yellow flag is coming out. And the cars pull away. The 007 is...
Green flag is coming up, and we are racing.
Fuqua looking for racing room down on the inside. Here comes the two of Devin Dixon up on the outside, challenging now for the lead. Matthews has it. Fuqua settles back into third. And the challenge by Wilmoth in fourth.
Devin Dixon going to lead that one across the stripe by just an inch or two as Matthews in the 33 slides up high. He'll give some room on the bottom to the 5 machine, or excuse me, the 3F of Fuqua. Fuqua down on the bottom, going to nudge on the inside, and the yellow flag is going to come out as we got high. Matthews just choosing to go down low. Green flag comes out. Dixon has the momentum up on the high side. He's found some moisture. Matthews on the bottom trying to make it work for him. They'll go down the backstretch in that order.
Wilmoth sees where the leader goes. He's going to follow him along there and pull up into the battle for third spot in the HC1 car. Wilmoth will take third away from Fuqua.
Down the backstretch now. Top 4 cars starting to get a little bit of distance on the rest of the field. Buzzy Rudeman in the middle. He'll go to the outside, work his way into the top 8.
Rudeman coming up on the high line now will give chase on back. Duval in the 17 has a 3-wide battle coming off turn 4. The 85 of McDermott getting through.
Down the backstretch though. It is still the one of Wilmoth on the top side trying to see if he can reel in the 33 of Matthews. Dixon is checking out up front though, riding the high side. Somebody's got to see that and start to use that high side to see if they can make it work for them.
Looks like the car 12 of Jason Hughes thinks that's the ticket too, but he's a little ways back in 5th. Hughes in the 12 car, digs in off of turn 2 and sets sail as Wilmoth continues to battle. Car 55 of Moore, flat tire, he's gone. Here comes the 85 of Corbett into the infield.
You can live or die by the cushion real quick. Things start to happen fast up top. Buzzy Rudeman now trying to take himself into the 6th spot in the B main. He'll need some help to make any ground up as he's back a good ways. But he is never going to give up as Dixon goes into 1, slides high, has to get the binders and take it down the backstretch. Still got a comfortable lead.
Wilmoth hoping to hang on as he has the challenge on the inside of Fuqua in the 3F. They're coming off turn 4. Fuqua trying to get an advantage. Wilmoth still has it in the HC1.
All that racing for that 3rd spot going to mean a lot if anything happens to the leaders. Lap traffic for the 2 of Dixon out of turn 4. Matthews trying to hang tough on the bottom as they've got 3 laps left to go. 3 more times around.
Wilmoth keeps pushing it higher and higher here. Trying to make something happen and stretches it away from Fuqua that time. We have a 5-lap distance left to decide this one as your leader Devin Dixon takes the car down into turn 2. Big advantage over the second place running 33, but that battle for third still intensifies.
Yes, lap traffic coming into play. Let's see if Matthews gets in trouble. He went high that time, gave up a little ground to those behind him. Yellow comes out, yellow on the field. A lot of racing left to go. Green flag's up, and we are back underway.
Jimmy Owens on the high
trouble,
side.
turn 2.
Owens
going to get tangled up and
We're getting out of order back there.
green flag is up. We are racing. And it's going to be the X car. Going to get the nod as jumping the start, I believe, but we'll continue down the backstretch. Wilmoth makes the move to the outside. He's committed up high. Fuqua says, I've got to go low. Tire off the 1 car. Right off the back end, it looks like the tire has jumped right off of the 1 HC car of Paul.
As your leader's going to thunder by now to the green flag. Matthews in command. Here comes Hughes up on the outside. He's going to take over where Wilmoth left off. Fuqua down on the inside looking for race room on 2, has to jam on the brakes. There's nothing doing down there. Fuqua now tries to make his move while also holding off Jason Hughes out of Oklahoma. Look out, 22 up the racetrack.
And 22 quickly off the pace. He's done something to tear up the front end. Meanwhile, Rudeman able to continue, but here comes the 61 car. Moving up on the back bumper, Sean Peterson trying to make a move on Rudeman, gets down on the bottom and does it. He'll take over 4th. And looks like Hughes has gotten that 2nd spot.
Hughes utilizing that high line. Still frantic action back in the back of the pit, but here comes Fuqua right back at him. Fuqua to the inside. Hughes up on the outside. This time by your leader nearly sideways in turn 4, has 2 laps to go.
And it is going to be a battle off the high side and the low side for that final transfer spot out of this B main. As they go down the backstretch, they'll be side by side. Fuqua on the bottom, Hughes on top. Hughes using the cushion, Fuqua using the short way around. He'll lay it on the infield. Hughes comes off the top side, gets a little run across the bottom. He'll win the white flag lap, but there's still 1 to go.
And they pay on the checkered flag lap as this is all happening behind your race leader, Jeb Matthews. Fuqua heads it out by a length down the back straightaway. Smoke rolling off the 007 at the back of the field. Here comes your winner to the line, Jeb Matthews. Who's going to be in 2nd?
It's going to be Fuqua. He drove off the bottom of turn 4. Hughes hung up high. And it's the 61. Go forward into the A main event. We'll see how the guys fare against the regular racers from up north as we get green flag action. The final B main underway. 15 laps, 2 cars go forward.
Roloff has a challenge now with Crouse in the 33. That's back in 4th and 5th. At the front of the field, they're trying to sort it all out. But look out in the backside as Hughes in the 20 jammed on the brakes and forced the rest of the field behind him to do the same thing.
Out of turn number 4, it's the 99 of Parton out in front. Corey Parton trying to show the way, but he's got a lot of action behind him as the 03 Rick Hensley gets her fired up, drops to the inside. He'll take over 2nd down the backstretch.
It's a good thing he did because Ron Jones is moving. He's got the 7 car down on the inside, and he just got clipped by the 1A on the right rear. Jones is flying in the 7. Look out, back in the back, we got Roloff in the 03 nearly into the side of the 44.
Down the backstretch, starting to get them stretched out, but the 7 car on a tear. Ron Jones trying to make the move. Watch him go into turn 1. Watch the back brake light up when he puts the breaker on.
Jones clearly running strong in this one. On back, you see Jamie Burrows now putting on a challenge on Joey Jensen. Burrows up on the outside trying to take the spot away.
Not much time left as you got the last set of cars going to make it into the A main right here, and everybody knows it. They're laying it up on the high side, dropping it down on the low side. Whatever works, works. Whatever doesn't work just happens not to work. This time, Parton still out in front, but here comes Jones.
Crouse making his move as well up into 4th spot, and that challenge takes over that position for Brady Short. Short will settle back into 5th.
Jamie Burrows trying to make a move towards the front, but he's still about 7th back there. A long way to go to catch these 2 leaders out of turn 3, headed for turn 4 side by side.
Down to the inside, Jones up on the outside. Parton has it for the time being. Look out, front stretch wall. The 03B collects the wall. That's Hensley.
Hensley stands right back on it, trying to hang on to it, but he'll have to do battle with Roger Crouse as they go into turn 3.
At the head of the field, Ron Jones has grabbed the lead by 2 lengths down the back straightaway. It's Ron Jones in command. Problems for B.J. McCammon in the 21. McCammon will turn the car to the infield and gets it out of harm's way as the leader makes his way down the backside.
Roger Crouse in that third spot, hoping that something happens up front. He's trying to hang tough right down on the bottom as we come to halfway. 8 laps down, 7 laps left to go. 8 down, 7 to go.
Brady Short hanging in the top 5, trying to make something work for him as he's running in 4th position now after passing Roloff. Brady Short looking for an opportunity. Here comes Onstad back on the inside of the Hensley car. Jensen trying to get involved in that battle as well. Good spot there as Roger Crouse is on the go.
Roger Crouse starting to come on strong now. He's looking down on the bottom for that second final transfer spot. He's inside trying to hang on, standing on the gas, still side by side at the line.
Your leader coming into lap traffic. Ron Jones slips up the racetrack. He's going to hunt down the 10X car of Rob Pendergrass. And meanwhile, Crouse is hunted down and past the 99 of Parton for now.
Parton goes way high, trying to run her hard now. Crouse looking at the back bumper of the leader, the 7 of Jones. Here comes Parton back on the outside.
Crouse was trying to swing that race car up. Now Crouse takes the lead as Jones slows in turn 2. Jones gets it kicked in gear once again, gets going, and now will give chase, but the lap car is blocking the way. Meanwhile, the 99 of Parton goes on the high line.
And it's going to be the 33, Roger Crouse, getting the run off turn 4. He'll take over the top spot that lap back, drop to the bottom in front of the lap traffic. He'll leave Parton and Jones the battle for that final transfer spot. What a run from Roger Crouse.
And Crouse can hang on to this one. It'll be a pair of 33s in that 11th row. That's what he's trying to accomplish right here as we have 2 laps remaining.
The mayor of Mudville out in front, right behind him, Jones and Parton trying to battle for that second transfer spot. Then comes the 36 of Short, and I tell you what, they are battling hard behind that as the 1A now making his way back towards the front, but he may be running out of laps.
White flag shows for Roger Crouse. Ron Jones, then comes Parton in the 99. 4th spot, it's Brady Short. Running 5th, it's 1A Onstad. That's the way they cross the stripe. Down the back straightaway goes your leader, Roger Crouse. 5 cars directly in front of him, but this being the last lap, it's not going to be a factor. Here comes the checkers.
Roger Crouse, ladies and gentlemen, takes the B main event. He'll go into the A main. So will the 7 of Ron Jones. That will be your 2 transfers. Everybody start the very first time for sure. And they are ready to go. Still some locals in this one. Bill Howard, of course, on the point, getting the opportunity to show the way from up front. Back in the back, Matthews, Crouse, the teammates, going to see what they can do to make their leading ability. And let's see who's got the ability to take it to the house. Victory lane is only 25 laps away. Green flag is up. We're racing. 3 wide in lap 1. Down goes the 48 of Howard Lowe. He'll slide up high. There goes Jones in the 7 as he breaks. He'll go through the green flag, though. And it is going to be the 1 of Pullman and then the 2 machine, I believe, of Kane, second.
Gatus is inside second. Then comes the challenge on the outside. Now as the 9 of Arment gets look out, McDermott's going to get collected. We've got him spinning in the back straightaway. Around goes the 21 of Swartz. Another incident develops at the back of the field as 5 cars are stopped.
Live or die by the cushion. And they are working it hard, seeing what they can make it get them. But around out of turn number 2, it's still the bottom that's working for the 1 machine of Pullman Jr. and the 2 car of Kenny Gatus.
Gatus puts a severe challenge on, takes the spot away as Pullman gets it back under control. Dave Hess is using the outside line as well. Meanwhile, charge being put on by the 18 as he's going to be shuffled by Shane Cottle in the 78.
Down the back stretch, though, the 1 on the move on the outside, 44H Dave Hess. He's laid it right up on the rim. He'll live or die by the high side.
Car 1 of Pullman losing a lot of territory here as Howard closing back in 3rd. Meanwhile, on the outside comes a challenge from Arment. Arment will go upstairs. He'll have 4th position, trying to improve his lot.
Trying to make a move, the 44H on the high side. Seeing what he can do out there as he comes off turn 2. He'll have it up on top and take it into turn 3 there. Oh, smoke out of the 44. He's coming apart. Motor problems in the 44H out of turn 4. Yellow comes out quickly.
And wipes out a couple of 3 wide battles that we had going on here as all the drivers will tiptoe past Waterford Petrified's Gatus. Looks for the green.
Out of turn number 1, going towards 2. Pullman takes the move on the inside, can't make it stick. That'll give a little bit of breathing room to the 2 machine of Kenny Gatus. Gatus right down the bottom trying to work it hard, and they are rolling. Oh, we got trouble up top. 22 car. Chad Kinder having a little trouble as it did not want to make the turn. Now the 12 off the pace towards the infield, back out on the track into turn 1.
Shamhart in the 12 will fall back in the field. Keep an eye on that 78 of Shane Cottle. He's coming up on the outside trying to make something happen. Started in 14th position, now inside the top 10 and challenging Kinder. Thatcher moves on the inside of Fuqua. Make that actually on Kane as Thatcher will now move up into the 5th spot. Craig Thatcher in the 91 car.
Big battle, bottleneck back here for the top 10 spots and make that run for 11th and 12th look 3 wide at times, but they are chasing some leaders that are starting to drive away as the top 4 cars start to work their magic out front.
Kane comes right back at Thatcher, takes that spot away from him. McDermott's running right there. Cottle now made that pass on the 22 of Kinder. Cottle's trying to take it as there's a lot of traffic down on the low side. Cottle go on the outside of McDermott as your leader comes off the corner. It's Kenny Gatus in the 2. He's in command.
A lot of cars getting the chance to see that 78 up high, rolling by on the outside. Let's see if anybody else swaps up top to try to run the last half of this race as we are 10 laps down, 15 laps left to go.
Miller in the 00 ducks into the infield. He's going to get the car out of harm's way as the leader flashes by with a big lead.
Last time through 3 and 4, the 2C of Kane had to check up real hard. That gave the 78 a good run on the outside.
Cottle's going to try to make something happen there. Meanwhile, watch the 2Cs. He's trying to hold up the 91 of Thatcher. Meantime, that leaves the outside lane unprotected. Cryderman in the 96 going to follow through on the outside as well as the 78 of Cottle. As we hit halfway, he's gone from 14th to 5th in this race.
He'll need some help from here halfway. 13 down, 12 laps left to go. 13 down, 12 laps left to go halfway.
Kinder nearly spins into front straightaway. Went from the high line to the low line, straightened the car right out. He's having trouble keeping that car under control. Lika passes him on the outside. He loses 2 spots.
It's still the 2 car out in front, showing the way down the backstretch. As Kenny Gatus in the 2 really driving away from the 1 machine of Bob Pullman Jr.
Gatus has already lapped the 16 of Ratliff. Pullman running 2nd, 3rd is Howard, 4th is Arment, and 5th now it's Cottle.
Still Bill Howard in the 3rd spot, that 48 and the 9 of Kent Arment hanging on to the 4th spot. But here comes the 78, and he's got time to reel him in.
Meanwhile, back in the field, we have a little bump and run there as the 707 of Conley gets down on the inside of Kane in the 2C. Cryderman, the 96, makes it a 3-car battle off turn 2. Cryderman jams on the brakes, lets him go. He'll hunt him down.
Turn 2. Wow, what luck could that be for the 33 of Matthews as he split those spinning cars. And he is rubbing a tire, though, as it doesn't look like it wants to turn correctly. He may have clipped the rear end just enough.
That's what it takes to get here to the front of the field. All eyes on him. We'll watch him come off the corner. Gatus started 5th. He's in 1st. Green flag.
8 laps left to go. What a mistake Pullman just made. Can he save it? He's going to try through the infield. Stands on the gas. Back out the backside. He'll stay in 3rd.
It's like driving a snowmobile. He got it right through the turf, right? He was gone. Back up into 3rd spot. Arment will run 2nd. Cottle in 4th, and Cottle is coming on.
Pullman knew that he made the mistake, got in way too hard. Bill Howard checked up hard to stay out of him, and that left the door wide open. The 78 Cottle up on the high side. He's still got a chance.
Action going on. Corey Conley, Thatcher, and also Cryderman in the 96 getting it on right back there. As Howard's going to try to protect his top 5 running spot. Here comes Cottle up on the high side of Pullman. Cottle takes it up. Pullman keeps it down on the low line. He's just going to stay focused on what's in front of him. And Pullman's going to hang on for now.
Cottle at the line, still in the 4th spot, but not by inches. He'll get the spot out of turn 2, it looks like, down the backstretch. The 78 into 3rd. Wow, what a run by the 78 of Cottle. He's still making up ground on the leaders as he hustles down the front stretch to see if he can keep that outside line working. He is laying it up on the cushion. He knows it's live or die on the high side.
Meanwhile, Arment's thinking the same thing in turns 1 and 2. He goes to the low side of 3 and 4, but he tries the high line in 1 and 2, thinking that might be helping him gain some ground. There he goes right back upstairs in 1 and 2. And Arment does gain ground on your leader, Kenny Gatus. Down the back straightaway they go with 3 laps remaining.
The 2 of Gatus starting to show some damage on the back of the car. He has pulled apart part of the spoiler. It's laying down on one side, and that may be upsetting the car just enough to give an opportunity to the 9 machine of Arment. But they've only got 2 laps left to go. He's got to hurry if he's going to get there. Kent Arment's going to see white flag this time by. He's got 1 more lap to get her done. Down out of turn number 3, across the bottom at the checkered flag. It's going to be the 2 machine of Kenny Gatus hanging on for the win. Arment goes 2nd. 3rd will go to a hard-charging 78 Shane Cottle. The 1P of Pullman amazingly hangs on for 4th after the excursion through the infield. And
starting back there in the 3rd row, what'd you think? You had to get to the front in a heck of a hurry.
Yeah, just try to get there and protect and hold it, you know, just keep it cool, not make no mistakes.
Whenever you have a caution showing up like that, you're at the head of the field, makes it tough on you, don't it?
It does. You don't know how, you know, if you've been doing good, you don't want to spin the tires on the restart, you don't want to mess up, and you got too many laps to think about it then.
Now here you are sitting in victory lane at the end of the night. We've got 4 more nights of racing ahead of us. You got to feel momentum's on your side.
I hope so. We've been running good with this new car since we got it out 2 weeks ago, and maybe we can keep it going.
Let's give a little love to these sponsors that you got helping out your effort here.
Sure, I like to thank Destiny Freight, Sunny Mountain Self-Storage, Shields Recycled Auto Parts, Hughes Chassis for building a good car. And, I mean, I got a whole bunch of help on here, and I appreciate all of it.
Everybody wants to come to Florida. That's what it all comes down to, don't you think?
It sure does. It's just a long drive.
There you go. Kenny, congratulations. Best luck to you the rest of the week.
Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is your winner tonight, picking up victory in our A-Main event, opening up for the open wheel modified class. Congratulations, the car number 2 of Kenny Gatus. That's good.
C-Main, whatever it takes to get to that A-Main final event. On behalf of our owners and our track workers, crews, and officials,
get a quote from Miss Jean.
Coming by on Tuesday night. We'll see you tomorrow.